All right, so this is your official 21-day shift kit. This is designed to get you out of the drift and start to make a shift. So let's get going. These are the five weapons that we've been teaching men, over 55,000 men for quite some years now. And we have time, and we are going to show you, and the ones that are responsible for the shift, the code, and of course, COG. So we'll get in and out of the code pretty quickly. You'll learn a little bit about my favorite word on the planet Earth. And then we'll get into the meat of this, which is a 21-day COG challenge that we're mapping out for you step by step. So, truth. This is my favorite word. If you've seen anything of me on social, my entire life changed about 5 years ago, and I signed this thing called a truth agreement when I was a lawyer at the time. And I have not told a lie in, I think, a little over 5 years now. And so we have a code that all of my members and everyone inside of our container lives by, and we're going to encourage you, and I would have you take this extremely serious, to live by these rules. Trust the process. You're going to be handed a 21-day step-by-step guide to this discipline we call COG, which you'll learn here in a second. And in there, you'll be asked to do things that might take you out, will take you out of your comfort zone. And I ask that you just trust the process. Results matter. 99% of men that I end up working with over the years, when they come to me from a state of drift, they are definitely not refocused nearly enough on results. And so we're going to make that shift for you. Upholding the standard, you will 100% create some new standards over the next 21 days, just by default. And I encourage you not to slip back into old habits and uphold whatever new standards you lay out for yourself. Take care of your brother. I only work with men. I've been working with men forever. So when I say 55,000 plus, that's all guys. And it can be take care of your neighbor, but realistically, one of our core values, and it's written here on my cog, is service of others. So as long as you're helping other people before you put your head on the pillow, you're winning. So I just want to encourage you to make sure you're doing that. And then, of course, honor your word. Like, your word is everything. If it comes out of your mouth, it has to get done. Like, there's two ways that I help guys get their power back if for some reason they've lost it. And it's really just doing what you're going to say. And then the scariest part is when you say you're going to do it. So if it comes out of your mouth, it has to get done. When you get really good at this game, you're going to actually attach timelines to your own word. And that becomes like the next level. And it really, really increases your power in any room. So, all right, COG, the main reason we're here. This is literally a discipline that has been around. It's been kind of tweaked, and I've made my own version of it, etc. But there's this concept out there called success leaves clues, meaning like anybody that you could think of in your particular niche, or anybody you just like think is crushing the game, look up to for whatever reason, whether it's money or just maybe how they are as a father or just a person, they have some sort of structure to what they do. And so this is, I definitely don't want it to be confused for like a morning routine, but at the end of the day, it's definitely a series of 8 habits across the 4 domains that we believe make up a man's entire life: faith, family, fitness, and finance. But essentially, it is a daily discipline. And as you get better at it, you'll start to understand what I mean. That will level you up in just 21 short days. Why 21? It takes 21 days to create new habits. We have a 43-day challenge, which is a little more complex, but we're starting you guys off with the 21 to make sure you can stick through that. So in each category, in each of the 4 F's, which we believe make up your life, there are particular things that you're going to learn to do. And when you do them consistently, you will start to show up different. And I promise you, you will realize a massive, massive shift over the next 21 days. So where did this word come from? Why is it so important? I know it sounds foreign to everybody. So COG, if you were to spell the word cog, right? Like, literally, I'm a cognitive behavioral specialist. Like, I work on remapping and reprogramming the subconscious mind. And so I'm obsessed with like all things in the cognitive area. And we actually used to call it the cog. And you can imagine from a marketing standpoint, it's not the sexiest because it rhymes with too many things. And it just wasn't attractive. So I said, cool, let's just call it COG. Sounds like a Japanese martial art, or it just sounds like a lot more marketable. And it still spells the word cog, which is crucial for our movement. Our entire movement is based around these 8 elements across the 4 domains. And I want you to look at it 2 ways. One is like the settings on your computer, like almost looks exactly like this, maybe even on your iPhone. And so everybody was born with the same hardware. Like, we all have like 2 eyes and, two arms, two legs, like a heartbeat for the most part, right? And so we all have the same like infrastructure or structure, and we're all just running different software. So we've all got the same hardware, which means we're all capable of whatever we want to do, like to be great at whatever the thing is that we want to be great at. The problem is over the years, we've been running somebody else's program because our entire program was written from 0 to 7, and then it was cut and paste every 7 years when your body produces a new set of cells. So it also stands for the premise of our movement, which is the cost of greatness. Like it does cost. You do have to pay dues daily to actually be great, not just good. Again, another issue with men stuck in the drift is they're settling for good, like good enough. Some of you guys maybe don't even have like a glaring issue in either of the 4 domains, but you're just kind of floating or drifting by because like things aren't that bad. But I don't know anybody who wants to live in a state of like good enough. So we take a lot of guys from good to great, from profit to purpose, and then ultimately from success to significance. We can get into my GPS talk on another day. But the other way that this word came about was the mission behind the mission, which is IOI, which is impact over income. So if you are coming into this container to buy another Ferrari or another house, probably not the place for you. We have a set of core values. We filter guys out pretty quickly by them. We are literally, I'm trying to create thought leaders, and I'm trying to create people that can actually make a dent. And so I can show anybody how to make money. Like if you're listening to this, cocky or not, come hang out with me for 2 days. Like I will show you how to 3X in 1 year. And then when you learn the tools, you can 3X every year if you like. But that's our average ROI, which is laughable. That's taking out some of the crazy people that we've taken to 7 figures and beyond. But all that to say, I can show anybody how to increase their income, but I only want to show people that want to do right by it and actually make enough to have nice things. I'm a proponent of nice things. I have nice things, but eventually you need to get to a place of like, more things aren't going to make me any happier. Let's help other people. Let's like actually make a dent. So we have a mission trip that we do every year. We went to Belize last year. We fight sex trafficking, and we also helped a lot of kids with like medical and dental needs in third world countries. So that is the definition of the word, and this is what it looks like. Real quick, you're going to end up pausing this video for a second. You're going to be doing a self-assessment, and so this is what you're looking for. In the area of faith, like I want you to start thinking about on a scale of 1 to 10, how is your spiritual connection, right? And then also, what is your faith or your belief in yourself? In family, inside of your 4 walls, what is the connection like with your wife or maybe a long-term girlfriend? And then if you have kids, like what is the relationship like with the babies, with the kiddos? And then friends, you know, are the family we choose. So what is your network look like? You've probably heard the concept of rule of 5, which is the 5 people we associate with most is who we tend to become. Like we are the average of those 5 people. So what does your circle look like? Maybe you have a business partner. So how would you rate yourself scale of 1 to 10 on how good you are at maintaining or increasing, developing those relationships? Fitness, easy. Are you happy? Are you healthy? If you look in the mirror, are you happy with what you see? Right? Like get down to your boxers, get all the way down. I don't care. Look in the mirror and ask yourself scale of 1 to 10. Am I happy with what's looking back at me? And then if we pop the hood, like if you go to the doctor and get blood work done, if we ask you to run a 5K or do like a fitness test, are you actually healthy? So scale of 1 to 10 there. And then finances. We are coming up on, you know, the end of Q1 in 2023. So how much did you make and how much did you manage? Do you know how to manage your money? So scale of 1 to 10, were you happy with what you made? And then were you happy with like your ability to manage funds, like protect it, grow it, so on and so forth. So across those, I'm going to have you pause this for a second and take this assessment. Scale of 1 to 10. You don't have to do the math right now. I'm going to show you briefly, but I'm going to come back to this one because I don't really take someone's scores because you're not ready for this yet. So look, just throw some scores at the end. So there's obviously be 2 scores per. What is your spiritual connection? How strong is it to a higher power? You can call it God, the universe. We're not here for that today. And then obviously, what is your belief in yourself, your faith in yourself? And then family and friends, happy and healthy. And how much did you make? And how confident are you that you're managing it correctly? And I'm going to go back a page and just pause it on this page for a second. Take a few moments, write that down, get your number. And then I'm just going to assume that you paused it and came back. And then you're just going to take your number and divide it by 80. You're going to get a number similar to down below, like point something. And just going to round, you know, to the nearest 10th of a percent. So 61% was this particular gentleman. He gave himself a 49. And so he is at 61%. And I want you to understand We call this a power assessment. This is literally like what type of capacity or power that you're bringing to this world every day. So like how you're showing up for the kids, you're only showing up at 60%. If you're not happy with how much you earn, you've been showing up to work or to run your business at 61% or whatever your number is. So just sit with that number for a second. And now this is going to be a very important slide that we're going to send you a screenshot of as well, because this is actually how you start to make a shift, how you start to increase the number across each F. So this is the routine. Most of us have learned how to get this done before we leave for the day. I encourage you to get up early and start getting most of it done. But by the time you put your head on the pillow, you want to try to get all 8 of these elements knocked out, and you want to be consistent. And again, we're going to email you a 21-day step-by-step, what we recommend for you to start with down this journey of the shift. So meditation and or prayer, right? So I meditate and I often pray as well, at least 10 minutes a day. Journal. You usually want to do this after you meditate or pray, like what is coming to you, what is in your head. You have to, we can go down another rabbit hole, but not right now. Get it out of your head and onto paper. There's a lot of science behind how important that is. So I know it sounds weird, but you're going to journal every day. Family, when I say lean into, like however it makes sense. If you've got a wife, you want to put some lipstick on the mirror and say something cute. If your daughter has a spelling bee coming up and you want to spend some super intentional time helping her with her words, like how can you lean into one family member before your day is done? And this could also be mom, dad, aunt, uncle, cousin. Find somebody related to you, send them a nice message, a nice video or voice note, but lean into a family member, and then also lean into a friend. So somebody close to you, somebody hasn't heard from you in a while. We have a concept called scroll and dial, where you take your phone and you literally just scroll through your contacts, and maybe you've got like 7 or 8 choices. Pick one, even if you haven't talked to them in 6, 7 years, and send them a nice gratitude message or just check on them. Hey brother, how you been? Hope everything's good with the wife and kids. I was thinking about you this morning. Hope all's well. That's it. And it sounds like simple and what have you, but I promise you, like, you will change somebody's day, and there's an actual science behind expressing gratitude early in the morning and how it affects your ability to show up for the rest of the day. Fitness. Sweat and fuel, pretty simple. This isn't about being jacked, bro, lifting heavy weights and things. This is literally about like weaponizing your body for a long day so that you can still come home and be present for the family, so you can get through the crazy days if you are an entrepreneur or you just have like a heavy workload. And more importantly, add some years to your life from like a functional standpoint. So 45 minutes of whatever you deem to be movement. If you want to go crazy in the gym, if you want to go on a brisk walk, if you want to ride a bike in your stationary bike in your garage or basement, I don't care what you do, but move your body for 45 minutes. And then fuel, pick something and follow it. The least that we will accept here is a lot of my guys do these like green drinks in the morning, like green smoothies, or like they actually juice. They get like all the raw ingredients and they blend them up. And so if you start your day with a really healthy meal, there's a very high likelihood that you'll continue throughout the day to make better food choices. But what I want you to do is follow, whether it's intermittent fasting, if you want to go keto, if you just want to track your macros, if you're really hardcore, maybe just count calories, maybe just stay away from sugar for 21 days. Pick something and stick to it. So finance, this is the only one I'm not going to give you granular step-by-step instructions on, because we cover a wide array of business owners, as well as like just high-level execs and other guys that don't own a business, but they still control their income, however they control their income, real estate guys, etc. So discover is crucial. This is discover and declare. Like, you need to start getting better at whatever it is that you're choosing to monetize. Like, long gone are the days of general education and having to take like home ec in high school when you're never going to need it, or maybe you took geometry in high school and you know you're never going to need it because you're a tradesman. Whatever you're doing, you need to start getting better at so you can master your craft. There's a saying in the business world, be first or be the best. So unless you're first in your industry, which means you've patented something or licensed something and you're crushing it already, you have no choice but to be the best. So be the best plumber, be the best real estate agent, be the best, CEO, whatever it is, you need to get better at it. And the best way we found to do that is to spend some time learning more about your trade. If you're a salesman, there's a million sales things you can look up on Audible, YouTube, books, etc. So somehow be intentional and spend a few minutes. I usually do this while I'm doing my cardio, and discover something new about your trade and get better at it. Declare is really just intentionally either seeking revenue or being very intentional about your day when it comes to anything money related. So if you find yourself going into work and just kind of wandering aimlessly, wasting 2 hours checking emails, you don't really have a plan, this is really about just mapping out and declaring, like writing it down or verbalizing it, vocalizing it, of what you're going to do for the day in the way of finance. Before I put my head on the pillow, I will close 2 deals. Before I put my head on the pillow, I will get these 3 items done that have been on my list that I've been avoiding like crazy. Like, I'm going to be hyper intentional about my money moving forward. So that's what it looks like. If you have questions, you'll have an opportunity later to book a call with the coach and really get granular on it. But as you see my examples, when we send you the 21-day challenge, I think you'll get more clear on that. So to review, we've got these 5 weapons: the code, COG, the stack, the circuit, and the program. You guys are heavily involved right now with just the code. It's the simple one, but you need to literally learn it and commit yourself to it. There's actually a section to sign it, similar to when I signed my own truth agreement, and then COG. And this is all geared around trying to implement a 21-day shift. So again, be on the lookout for a step-by-step email with instructions on how to complete your 21-day COG challenge. My team didn't want me to do this because it's probably complicated, but I think this is the best way for you to stay on track with the challenge. This is our planner. This is what I've given 55,000 plus men to keep them on track. It seems simple, but there's another saying out there: simple scales and fancy fails. Like, it has to be simple for people to actually knock it out. But this alone will keep you so on task and organized and clear every morning when you wake up. So bear with me on here. I'm throwing this in. It's a 365-day planner, so it's 730 sheets because you're going to get a PDF, which you can throw on like an iPad if you want, if you use that. I use Remarkable if you want to look that up. It's like a kind of like a Kindle. It's a black and white version of this, which I'm going to show you on the next slide, how I work out my planner every day. But obviously, if you're old school, you can print it. So print 21 days worth, print it, every morning when you wake up, print a month worth. I don't care what you do. But this is your attempt here if you want to see this. Matter of fact, let me get to the big page. So you can see, I'll go back. That's the second page is always going to be just where you journal. So your journal topic, maybe the date. This is where you puke up everything that you're thinking after you've done your meditation or prayer or both. And so this is the one that is going to keep you clear, on track, and really start to track your results. Obviously, what day of the week is it? What's the actual date? What does your schedule look like? If you're not time blocking, again, book a call with one of my coaches. It is going to be a bonus here at the end. You'll see. Take advantage of learning how to time block, because I will show you how to get 2 hours back, and then I'll show you how to be more productive with the 2 hours you get back. So it's a 337% increase in productivity. Sounds ridiculous, I know, but I can prove it works because we've been doing this for a long effing time. So you go through COG every day. Did I meditate? Did I journal? I write down what I did. So what was the meditation I did? What was my journal topic? Who did I lean into as a family member? What friend did I lean into? And maybe was it a voice note or a text or what have you? Sweat, I did 45 minutes of stationary bike in the garage, whatever. Fuel, I personally track my macros, so I write down my 3 macros: my carbs, my proteins, my fats. And then what did I discover? Maybe it was a YouTube video on how to do better Loom videos like I'm doing now. But it's usually geared towards my business or somehow generating more money. And then declare, I have them down at the bottom where it says non-negotiables here. When you get better at this, you'll be doing at least 3 a day. We have what we call 3 non-negotiables I make my guys commit to every day. You cannot put your head on the pillow. I don't care if it's 11:59. You do not go to bed until you've knocked out these non-negotiables, because you declared at the beginning of the day that you were going to do it. And if it comes out of your mouth and you honor your word, you have to get them done. I don't care if your day gets away from you. Figure it out. That's how it works. So at least to start on a 21-day journey on this shift, try to map out 1 non-negotiable, and it kind of becomes your declaration for the day. So you're going to score yourself 1 to 8 every day. You're going to learn how to actually stare at and build out the night before or early in the morning your daily schedule. And then down there in the bottom right is a box called theme. I want you guys to start being so intentional that you actually have a theme. I actually apply a theme for every 90 days, like quarterly, and sometimes I take that theme all the way throughout the year. So take more example. Mine is loud AF. It's really just loud, but sometimes I write more stuff on here. You can see this is from January 12th, and I currently, didn't understand that it's 2023, because I think I do that for the first month of the year until I figure out it's 23. So this is a couple months ago. It was on a Thursday. So you can see I did a 12-minute personal. I have a personal meditation mix. I've been doing this for several years. I have a book called Daily Stoic, which you guys are going to have a little bit of access to during the 21-day challenge. I did a voice note to my daughter, Tenley. I sent Raya Whelan, who's a former client of ours, a message just to check on him. I did a 60-minute cardio plus 60-minute weights. And then those are my macros, 250, 250, 70. So I'm on 250 protein, 250 carbs, 70 grams of fat. I built out a power assessment, which is similar to what I just had you guys do, but in like a type form type of version. So anyway, I can show you that later. And then my BBA, which is a little different. This is an older version of what I sent you guys, but it's essentially like my non-negotiable. I have them all down here. And then this is my madness day. Only thing I want you to see, you can go through and see how crazy my days are, but like I do COG in the morning religiously. It is my identity. If I'm on vacation, my kids know I will leave the room and I will knock this out. It doesn't matter. This is just who I am. I want you guys to get this committed and married to this. So my COG time is 5 to 8 every morning. And then you'll see also what's important. I want you to see what I call my bookends. So my mornings are COG, and at 8 o'clock every night, I have an alarm that goes off. I have a what I call power down, or like pre-bedtime ritual. And actually, that's when I map out my following day. So a lot. I gave you a lot. I know. Like, this is what it looks like. This is what's included in this 21-day shift kit. I want you guys to win, so I'm trying to give you as much as possible. And then I'm going to give you, if you look at the last one here, let me get to it, a call with myself or one of my coaches to kind of go over it in more detail and then answer any questions you may have. You could do the call now. You can save the call for when you're 5 days in and you're like, I need help now. I get it, but I don't get it. But here's what it looks like. You've got the code, the word truth in an acronym. I need you to really, really, I can't say this enough. There's a video of me on social. You'll see I have it tattooed on the inside of my lip. Like, that's how obsessed I am with the word truth. The discipline. So the discipline that this whole thing evolves around is this concept of COG, and it becomes your new daily discipline until it becomes your identity after 21 days. The challenge, again, we're going to give you 21 day by day. We debated on dripping it out every day, but the automation on when you guys start is going to be a nightmare, so we're going to give you all 21 days at the same time. So hopefully you guys can stay a little organized there. And I think that's why I lean towards handing you guys what I call the map, which is my daily planner, which is what all my members who pay me money to coach them use. And this is literally the best way to stay organized. And it is a game changer. I promise you, use it. And then where it says the next step, you guys have access to a call, and I would definitely take advantage of it. Like, I don't know how the other way to say this, but I charge $100,000 a year to work with me privately, and like, if you get me on a call, I think it's probably worth your time. So figure out what questions you want to ask. We have a framework specific for this shift challenge that the coaches are kind of married to, but I would suggest that you come with a little extra or specific questions so you get the most out of that call. So, action items. You probably don't know me yet, but now that you do, you cannot have a conversation with me unless you leave with a commitment to doing some action. Otherwise, we just had a cool conversation, right? So, the code. There's going to be a version we send to you in a JPEG. I want you to print it and sign it down at the bottom. It says subscribe, and then there's, of course, a line and an X. If you didn't know, subscribe is Latin for sign underneath. So, sub and scribe. So, you're going to actually subscribe to this code. I want you to sign it and then, like, put it somewhere where you can see it and just really commit to that new life. It's a big part of the shift, is literally speaking truth. We have a whole talk we'll do on that. I'll probably send that as well. But it's like, we'll get in the weeds, and we're already 20-some minutes in this video. COG, the discipline. You need to learn it, then you need to live it. Like, simple as. Like, you got to get another one slide, JPEG that you can put on your phone and stare at until you get it down. Like I said, the granular 21-day will get you on a rhythm. But I need you to learn how it works and then actually live it and do the work, or you will not experience the shift. So, COG 21, follow the step-by-step and then trust the process. So follow it and trust it. And then the printable PDF, again, you can print it if you're old school. I don't know the last time I printed a document. It's been years, and I used to be a lawyer, so I'm just not a fan. But you can download it. Again, I use Remarkable. You can look up what that is. Or if you have an iPad, you can even put it on your phone nowadays if you have like an Android and scribble on it. I'm an iPhone guy, but I know a lot of my guys use iPads or Remarkables. So the last step is schedule it and please show up. So schedule some time with one of my coaches. Like I said, if it's round robin, or if you really need to get to me, if we can find a way to get you to me. But realistically, take advantage of that call, because there's a lot of power in getting clear on how to actually use these tools and get the most out of this free 21-day shift experience. So, I guess I threw in a pro tip. Check me out. This is crucial. This is my like addiction to like remapping, reprogramming, cognitive behavioral coaching. Just something as simple as throwing this on your lock screen for the next 21 days. I wrote minimum because I hope you guys stick with this longer than 21 days. But I want you to throw this on your lock screen because it's just going to keep it, cerebrally at the forefront of your mind. And as you learn, again, you've got your faith, family, fitness, and finance. You kind of will start to memorize what is required of you across those 8 elements and the 4 domains. But more than anything, you'll remember to do COG. Set an alarm, stick to a time, non-negotiable. Make this your identity, and I promise you, in 21 days, I promise you, you will see things different. People will see you different, and you will have your shift.